Hi everyone, Vince here. Hope you're all having a good day. I got a PS2 in today that has no power at all. I have it plugged in back here. Turn it on. Getting no light whatsoever. So no signs of life. Thought this might be an interesting one to fix up on video, so let me take it apart and see what we find. Alright, got the PS2 taken apart here. As you can see, it was pretty dirty and dusty. Gonna have to clean this up pretty good. I also noticed there's these plastic pieces missing from the controller port here. So I'm gonna have to get that addressed at some point. Anyways, the thing I want to look at first is the power supply and see if the power supply is outputting 12 volts. So I'm plugged in, don't have it switched on right now, and just a warning, if you are working on power supplies, you need to be extraordinarily careful. I am not responsible if you injure yourself because you don't know what you're doing. So before I do anything, I'm going to make sure that the main filtering cap is discharged right here. And it looks like we're good. It's been sitting for a while now, so yeah, that's good. Good to go. Just make sure. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and power this on and check for some voltages. Just trying to see where the output pins are. Yeah, so they're over here. Okay. So let's see what happens, see what kind of readings we're getting. So let's check this capacitor now. Should be getting about 160 volts. Yep, 168 volts on there. Oh, sorry, I mean multimeter is in the shot. Make sure you can see that. Before when I was checking, I was getting 0 volts. Oops. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, good enough. 168 volts. So this is live to there. And I'm guessing we're not getting 12 volts out here. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting nothing there. So from my experience, what normally goes in these is a bootstrap capacitor that fails, and this whole thing just kind of gets shut down at that point. Let me go ahead and power this off. Check for the main filtering cap to drain. Okay, I'm gonna let that drain for a minute, and I'll be back once it's drained. I've taken this apart, so I can show you the capacitor I'm talking about, and we can check it. Okay, capacitor is discharged. Got the board taken out. So this is the capacitor that I'm referencing. Try to dust it off here a bit. See if we get the value. So here it is. 27 microfarad, 35 volt. Well, that's an odd value. So yeah, usually this capacitor is starting to go bad from the ones I've seen, and this just causes the whole thing to stop working, the whole power supply, I should say. So I'm actually going to check this in circuit with my ESR meter and see what it's looking like in circuit. Just trying to pinpoint where it is. So it looks like it is this one. Which one's? Okay, so I got my ESR meter right here. If it'll turn on, there we go. Okay, got it in shot. Where was it? Right there? Yeah, it looks like it's right here. Well, if I am hitting the right points there, this cap is definitely bad because the ESR is over limit. Wide open, it looks like. Yeah. Let's reverse my leads, but yeah, it looks like this is our problem. We should not be getting a no reading on this capacitor, and we are. So off camera, I'm just going to pop this out, and I'll go ahead and measure it out of circuit 2, and then put in a new one after we're 100% sure that that capacitor is faulty. So I'll be right back. Okay, got that capacitor out. Go ahead and verify it's still bad out of circuit. I'm pretty sure it is. If it's not getting a reading in circuit, it's probably not getting one out of circuit. Yeah. So nothing over limit. This cap's shut, and very likely why that power supply wasn't working. 27 microfarad is a pretty odd value, which I don't have. However, I do have a 22 microfarad and a 4.7 microfarad for 26.7 microfarads of capacitance, so I can just put those in parallel together. And we'll call that close enough. I'll just verify their capacitance with the multimeter. So I'm just going to put them together and check them both at the same time. Should be good. You guys can't really see. So we're getting 29 microfarads of capacitance with the two together. That's close enough. I mean, these capacitors have a 20% tolerance typically. And just for laughs, let's check the capacitance on this one. Not that it really matters, but why not? We got it here. Yep, 17.5 microfarads. Pretty low, but I'm guessing it would work if the ESR wasn't so high, the equivalent series resistance. So yeah, off camera, I'm just going to go ahead and plop these two capacitors into the power supply, bring that board back in, plug it in, and see if we're getting 12 volts out. Alright, got those two capacitors in here in parallel. It doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to work. So let me partially reassemble this right here, and we'll see if we're getting our 12 volts on output now. My guess is we will be, but we'll find out. Come on. There you go. Plug that in. Okay. So about to give this thing power, so we're going to have to be careful. Okay, so we should have power now. Make sure you can see the multimeter. And let me try that. That's a little better. Okay, so let's check the voltage on this capacitor. So yes, we're live, 167 volts. Let's see if we're getting 12 volts on output now. Yep, there it is, 11.75 volts. So this thing will probably turn on now. So let me go ahead and put this back together off camera, and we'll see what it's doing. Alright, partially reassembled for testing here. I did notice putting it back together that there actually is a disk in the disk drive, so I might have scored a free game. Interesting to see what that is. Okay, so let me hit the power switch, see if we get a red light. We do. Cool. So let me move this out of the way and turn this on. See what happens. Okay, sounds like we're booting up. See what we get on the TV here. Well, that's the problem. Probably need to plug in to the monitor. Silly me. There. Jeez. Alright, sheesh. Oh, look at that. So it actually booted the game up, it looks like. Let me just reboot it. So this thing looks like it's pretty much fully working now. Okay, so it looks promising. I'm not going to hook up a controller just yet. I probably could, honestly. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to try right now, but I'll probably try it in a little bit. Does sound like the laser's having some difficulty reading the game, but I mean, this thing's also filthy, so the laser could just be dirty. Well, anyways, I'm not patient enough. It's still stuck on a black screen. I'm just gonna see what game I got. Oh, Star Wars Battlefront. There it goes. Funny. Yeah, this drive definitely needs refurbished. So cool. Scored a free game. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and clean this up off camera and be back once it's all cleaned and see how it looks. I got the PS2 dusted out and reassembled for testing. Added some fresh lithium grease inside the disk drive as well, and I cleaned the laser off. So let's see how we're doing now. Using a different disc to test it out because that Star Wars Battlefront game's pretty scratched up. Okay, so we booted right up. Probably gonna need to change that belt out, and I cleaned it off pretty good, but probably just needs replaced. I'm not gonna bother doing that in this video. Let's see how quickly this recognizes the disc and boots. Okay, that was pretty quick. Let's see how the intro videos play. Oh crap. The easiest way is going to be for me to insert a memory card and just reboot this, so I'll be right back. I'll continue saving. Yes. Alright, let's see how these videos play. Looks good, no skipping. Well, that video played well. I booted this game up pretty quickly. So I'm going to call that good for now. And I'm going to move on to a PS1 game and test that out. Okay, I'm back with Rallycross here, so let's give this one a test. Okay, it booted that one up pretty quickly. So it looks like the disk drive's mostly okay. I think I just need to get a new belt for it. I'll obviously do some more testing off camera, but it's looking promising. Yeah, it looks like it's booting this one right up. Okay, so all in all, this PS2 looks like it's in reasonable shape. I need to get a new drive belt, it looks like, because the disk drive is ejecting a little bit slowly. I obviously need to get a new memory card and controller port here. I can't sell it like this. It's just, I'm not comfortable selling something looking like that for somewhat obvious reasons. And the other problem with it, the main issue, was the bootstrap capacitor on the power supply was bad, as I showed with the ESR meter. Once I swapped that out for a couple of fresh capacitors, this thing came back to life, no problem. So I hope that's informative. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or anything, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. One last thing. I cleaned the drive bell with some rubbing alcohol a bit more, and this is how it's responding now. So that portion looks like it's completely fixed, so I'm ending the video now.